Hello students, I am Bharati Shinde, working as a lecturer in Praveen Patil College of Diploma Engineering and Technology, Bhayandar. Today we will see the subject Applied Mechanics, and the code for this subject is 22203. This subject is for semester 2 of first year. The name of first chapter is Mechanics and Force System. First, we will see introduction, that is, what is mechanics and what is applied mechanics. So, mechanics is a branch of science which deals with study of forces and their effects on bodies in motion or at rest. So, in mechanics, we will see study of forces and their effects on bodies in motion or at rest. And what is applied mechanics? So applied mechanics is a branch of mechanics which deals with study of different laws and principles of mechanics applied to the engineering problems. This is about introduction. Then we will see what is the importance of studying applied mechanics. So the knowledge of applied mechanics is very important for engineering students pursuing study in different fields like civil, mechanical, automobile, production, electrical, electronics, and other branches. The detailed study of this subject helps engineer in following situations, that is, these situations which are given step by step. So first, importance to plan, design and construct various types of structures, machines, spare parts of machines, etc. The knowledge of this subject forms the basis of advanced subjects like machine design, tool design, strength of materials, theory of structures, fluid mechanics, soil mechanics, etc. And other importance is to accept and perform jobs skillfully. So every engineer must study this subject, that is applied mechanics subject. And applied mechanics is mainly divided into two classes, that is statics and dynamics. And dynamics is again divided into two branches, that is kinetics and kinematics. We will see all these concepts. And what is statics? So statics is a branch of applied mechanics which deals with action of forces on bodies at rest. So in statics, we will study forces on bodies but at rest. Then in dynamics, we will see the action of forces on bodies in motion. In dynamics, the body is in motion. Kinetics is a branch of dynamics which deals with study of action of forces on bodies in motion, but considering mass of the body and forces causing motion. So in kinetics, body is in motion, but we will consider mass of body and forces which causes motion. Kinetics. Kinetics is a branch of dynamics which deals with action of forces on bodies in motion, but without considering mass of body and forces which causes motion. Then we will see the difference between mass and weight. So mass is the quantity of matter contained in a body, and weight is the force which the body is attracted by Earth towards its center. So mass is a scalar quantity and weight is a vector quantity. So what is scalar quantity and what is vector quantity we are going to see. Scalar quantity is a physical quantity having only magnitude and no direction. That is mass is having only magnitude and no direction. And weight is a vector quantity, that is weight is a quantity having both magnitude and direction. Then SI unit of mass is kilograms and SI unit of weight is Newton. Next difference is mass of body remains constant at all places, that is on earth, moon and sun. If mass of our body is 40 kg on earth, then it is same, that is on moon it is again 40 kg and on sun it is again 40 kg. But it is not same about weight. Weight of body changes from place to place, as weight is a product of mass into acceleration due to gravity, m into g. So weight on earth is m into g on earth. Weight on moon is m into g on moon. And weight on sun is m into g on sun. That is, on every planet, on earth, on moon or on sun, acceleration due to gravity changes, but mass remains same. This is about the difference between mass and weight. Then we will see various concepts. First, particle. So particle is defined as a material point without dimensions but containing definite amount of water. Definite amount of matter. So particle is a point without dimensions but having definite amount of matter. Then body is a portion of matter which is limited in all directions. Rigid body rigid body is defined as a body the particles of which are fixed in position relative to one another, even when subjected to a number of forces. So, rigid body is a body having the particles of which are fixed in position and subjected to a number of forces. And rigid bodies do not deform when subjected to a system of forces. So rigid body having no deformation. And as we know, no body is perfectly rigid. So every body deforms slightly under the action of forces. Hence, rigid body is a theoretical concept. While dealing with static equilibrium, we can safely neglect the deformation and assume that the body is perfectly rigid and do not deform in any way. Then we will see the difference between scalar quantity and vector quantity. So scalar quantity is having only magnitude and no direction, but vector quantity having both magnitude and direction. So scalar quantities can be added or subtracted by arithmetical operations. But vector quantities can be added and subtracted vectorially and not arithmetically. Examples of scalar quantities are mass, area, volume, density, time, speed, temperature, work, power, energy, and the other quantities having only magnitude but no direction. And the examples of vector quantities are displacement, velocity, force, weight, movement, momentum, acceleration. That is the quantities having both magnitude and direction. Then we will see the difference between fundamental units and derived units. We will see first definition of fundamental units. So certain quantities like length, mass, time are fundamental because they do not depend upon other quantities for their measurement. And the quantities which does not depend upon other quantities for their measurement are called as fundamental quantities, and their units are called as basic units or fundamental units. Likewise, we will see derived units. So, definition of derived quantities are that is area, volume, density, force, weight, velocity, acceleration depends on one or more fundamental quantities for their measurement. So the quantities which depends on other quantities for measurement are called as derived quantities, and their units are called as derived units. That is, the units which are derived from basic units are called as derived units. Then second difference we will see, basic units or fundamental units are small in number while derived units are large in number. Units of examples of fundamental or basic units are length, mass, and time. In SI system are m, kg, and seconds respectively. That is, unit of length is meter, unit of mass is kg, and unit of time is second. Then derived units or unit of force is C. Force is nothing but mass into acceleration. So unit of mass is kilogram and acceleration is meter per second square. That is kg into meter per second square is nothing but Newton. So kg, meter and seconds are basic units, but Newton is a derived unit. Then we will see system of units. So MKS system, CJS system, FPS system and SI system. These are the various systems. So in MKS system, basic units of length, mass and time are meter, kilogram and second. In CGS system, unit of length is centimeter, unit of mass is gram and unit of time is second. In FPS system, unit of length is foot, unit of mass is pound and unit of time is second. And in SI system, that is International System of Units, and SI system is universally approved and accepted, and SI system is normally used in various countries. So in SI system, unit of length is meter or millimeter, unit of mass is kilogram, and unit of time is second. Then we will see basic principles, that is first principle, Newton's laws of motion. As we know, there are three laws of Newton. We will see step by step. First law. So, in first law, Newton stated that every body continues to be in a state of rest or uniform motion unless it is acted upon by some external agency to change the state. And the first law is called as law of inertia. So first law states that every body continues to be in state of rest or at uniform motion unless it is acted upon by some external agency to change its state. Then second law. So second law of motion states that the rate of change of momentum of body is directly proportional to unbalanced force acting on the body and takes place in the direction of force. So Newton's second law states that rate of change of momentum is directly proportional to unbalanced force. Then third law of motion, that is Newton's third law, states that to every action there is always an equal and opposite reaction. Then we will see Newton's law of gravitation. First, what is gravitation? So gravitation is defined as, see the definition, as we know, there exists a force of attraction between any two bodies. So the earth is the biggest body and it attracts each and every body towards its center. Earth attracts each and every body towards its center. So as the body moves towards the center of earth, the force of attraction increases and as it moves away from the center of earth, it decreases. So gravitation is nothing but the attraction between two bodies, but when body moves towards the center of earth, the force of attraction increases, and when body moves away from the center of earth, it decreases. Then we will see Newton's law of gravitation. So Newton's law of gravitation is nothing but the force of attraction between any two bodies is directly proportional to product of their masses and inversely proportional to square of the distance between them.